let's get to it. So let's take some, let's get a 1-inch brush. We'll start off putting some liquid white down on this canvas. I don't know if you can see that on the monitor going on or not, but I just want a nice thin coat. Just scrub it in. These are just oil paint. This is just liquid white. The Bob Ross brand, liquid white. There's all sorts of brands that you can use. It's Amazing White, Magic White, liquid white. Make sure you get a nice even coat. Hey, Pat. Oh, thank you. You're very kind. Do something a little different today. This is a 16 by 20 canvas today. I typically use one of three sizes. 12 by 16, 16 by 20, 12 by 16, or 11 by 14. I don't really like too much. I don't like them too much smaller than that. Although I have some 2x2s in here that would come in pretty handy. Maybe. I haven't tried to use them yet. All right, let me clean the brush off here. Let's see. I'm going to start thinking about what we're going to paint, actually. I sort of like to compose as I go, so. Sure. Oh, paint up the side of my brush here, so wipe that off. There we go. All right. So let's put the lid on that and put it away before I forget. And let's see. What are we going to use first? Maybe. Let's get a little bit of Indian yellow. Let's start with a little bit of Indian yellow. I usually use Indian yellow on black canvas. I thought I'd just try it on the white canvas today. I just have an idea about something I want to try to do here, so let's see if we can make it happen. All right, so I picked up another 1-inch brush. We're just going to come in like right about here. Let me arch that up a little bit. And then let's see. I was thinking about maybe using a little bit of yellow ochre just to set the sky. Now I think before that though, let's do this. Let's take a little bit of this linden yellow and we'll just kind of what? Oh, I have to go let my cat up for a second here, guys. How's it? My wife locked the cat in the basement with me. Hang on a second. Hang on, buddy. Okay. He doesn't enjoy the stream quite as much. He'd prefer I sat in my chair and just petted him all day. That would be good enough for him, I think. All right. Hey, Tom. What do you mean you have problems with wet on wet? What kind of problems are you having, buddy? Let's talk about it. Just gonna put a little bit of this in here. This is just a little bit of a Alright, that looks pretty good. I think without cleaning the brush, I'll put some alizarin crimson down next. Lay it on me, Tom. What kind of problems are you having, buddy? Maybe I will clean my brush. Emily Jean. Hun, how are you feeling? Are you feeling better today? Hey, Joyce. All right. I'm going to take a little bit of this alizarin crimson. Put it right above the top of that. Not quite touching right along in here, as you can see. And we touched a little bit there, but not quite. We kind of blended that a little bit of it. All right. Now let's see. Do I have any blue out here? No. All right. Let's get a little bit of Prussian blue. Yeah, we'll use a little bit of Prussian blue. Before I put that on the brush, though, let's take a little bit of this red. This little bit of this crimson. Kind of put it down here. Put some down here. I'll turn this into reflections later. And let's pick up a little bit of this blue. Just a little bit of Prussian blue. We're going to blend all this together in a moment. But all right, out of way, girl. Hang tough. Feel bad for you. Glad to hear you feeling better. It's got to be a drag. We'll put a little bit of this blue. We'll put just a little bit of this blue over here. We're going to create some landscape maybe over there a little bit. Maybe a little landscape over here. So we'll just throw it over there. All right. So we'll come back and refine that. Right now we just want to get some color down. We don't want our sky like... We're going to blend all of that together. So let's do that. We'll start. I could use a fan brush to blend, but I don't think I will. Maybe I'll use a 2-inch brush to do that. Got some back here. There we go. All right. So we're just kind of putting a light touch on this. Trying to pull those two, that bright yellow up into this, a little bit up into this yellow. And we want to kind of start to bring this red down. Pull this red down. And we'll take a little bit of that shade out of there. So you really want to kind of blend this until you can't see too much, like where the paint, where one color starts and another color stops. All right, let's pick up some of this blue. Let's do something with this blue. Let's kind of twirl this blue a little bit rather than the X stroke. Let's just kind of, just a little bit of a circle stroke like this. Sorry I've been off so much. I hate to leave you guys hanging. I had a lot of family stuff going on. Nothing, no emergency really. Just a bunch of stuff. Bunch of stuff I have to tend to. Worried about this more in the middle than I am too much on the ends. Let's decide. I'm going to put some dark color back up in here. We might bring some landscape, maybe like this, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Hello, Linda. Hi, Jean. All right. Make those little sounds. So we should be back pretty regular. A couple times a week we'll be painting here, I think. Starting to turn winter time here. It'll get me on the garden. All right, let's see. Let's start off, and we'll put some really far distant trees back up in here. So let's get, I'm gonna need some titanium white for that, probably. We'll put a couple lines of titanium white down here on the palette. I'll probably use that a lot. Let's pick up, what else do we want to pick up to do this? Let's pick up, we could use a couple of things, but I think what we'll do is we'll pick up some Payne's Gray. Yeah, here we go. Here's some Payne's Gray. So now, if you've not used Payne's Gray, it looks black coming out of the tube, but kind of the lighter you go with it, so you begin to add titanium white to it, the more blue, son of a bluish gray that it looks. So hang on a second, I'll mix some of this up here. I'll tell you what I'll do. So this is what it looks like mixed. Sorry, you got a real reflection of light there, but it's kind of that light gray. Let me get a different knife here. Use this little knife here. So here you go. This is it coming out of the tube. So you can see how much we've lightened it up there. All right, so let's lay some of that. It doesn't take much when you're mixing it, so it's easier to do it lighter and then come back and add to it than it is to try to make it darker and then come back into it. So let's put some trees in the background. Not sure I mixed up enough paint. We'll see. We'll see. So let's start off so let's kind of like come over a third, down a third. And we'll kind of lay it. You guys see that okay? Is it dark enough for you? It looks awful light on the monitor. All right, tell you what, just so you can see it better. Let me darken this up a little bit, just a little bit. I won't darken it too much. It's going to really affect the actual finished painting. So maybe we'll leave that tree there, though. I'll tell you what, let's leave that tree there. We'll put another one in beside it that's a little darker and see how that looks. And of course, if all else fails, we can take it back off the canvas, right? So, now this one's going to be darker, so we want to move it a little bit. It's going to be pulling up a little bit farther, so we want to set it a little bit in front of this tree. Let's put another one in here. We'll just kind of push that first tree way back in the background by bringing these other trees up toward the front. Make this tree a little bit fatter, put him in front of that tree. We'll put a little underbrush right here, like that. And that'll work. All So I think with the reflection, you guys are not going to be able to see that too good. But let me turn it there where you can, maybe you can see the other tree back in the background. It's kind of pushed back up in there. All right, so we're going to kind of come in between those two with a little bit lighter color. Put a few more trees in here. So we'll kind of put a mid-tone in here. If you have any questions, just pop them up there. Don't be shy. So this is your first time to watch me. I've been painting for a little over 2 years. I'm nobody famous. I'm just a guy, just like all you guys. Some of you guys might be famous. I don't know. Emily Jean is on here now. I don't know if she's still on here, but she's a Little Painter Girls. Her art page. Let's make kind of a bent tree here. Just kind of curve this guy. Maybe he got stepped on when he was little. He got bent, and you know, all trees are not straight. Matter of fact, a few trees are straight. If they're straight, they're telephone poles. So it's I think I want another tree back here a little bit. I'll tell you what. Let's make this tree a little bit taller. This first tree we put in. We'll make him a little bit darker. So that'll make him a little bit bigger. He'll still be in the background pretty good there. There we go. All right. Let me look at this for a second. I wonder if, so I'm going to take a really soft fan brush. I want to kind of lighten some of this over here. So I want to move the main light out of the center so much. We'll break that line up with some trees. Maybe just a little bit of light color right there. I think that'll look good. All right, now stick a tree in here. Bum, 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 bum. I think I first started painting, the thing that really used to throw me off was I would start painting something, and if I didn't like it, I would still be kind of committed to it. I'd keep on, but you don't have to do that. You do not have to do that at all. If you don't like what you're getting, change it. All right. So this time I'll mix up a little bit darker. I'm going to start to pull this toward us a little bit. Not too much. Not too much. This tree a little skinnier, a little taller. All right, now let's see. Let's clean the brush or two. Hey, Dorothy. How are you today? We're starting to get kind of caught back up here, so. All right, let's lay in this. Let me start thinking about where the landscape's going to go. Probably could have used a bigger brush to do that. I think I will in a second. I can just get the paint, work the paint out of this brush. Let's switch to the 1-inch brush just to start laying some of this landscape, the forward-facing landscape. Bring it to me. All right, let's get the 1-inch brush. Let's just tap the rest of this in. A little darker. As it comes to us, we want it to be a little bit darker. Clean the brush here. Just using Onless Mineral Spirits to do that. Works pretty good. I'd like to say they're completely odorless, but they're not. But they're pretty odorless. All right. So we're just kind of creating a spot for these water lines to go in. Pull these reflections off, and I think some of these reflections out here are probably going to disappear before all is said and done, but we shall see. We shall see. All right, so let's get a little bit of that liquid white we were using in the beginning to use it to put a little bit of highlight on here on this background. Touching just lightly. Now, if it's not sticking, if your paint's too thin to start with, then just add a little bit of linseed oil to it. Some bushes in here. A few bushes. Hey Rosalie, how are you today? Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's take a knife and let's put some more lines in here. And then we'll start, maybe we'll start working on this piece of the landscape, because I think this needs to go out a little bit more, but we'll see. And when you put your water lines on, just make sure you keep them horizontal, that's all. If you kind of let them slide off to the side or crooked, they'll make your water look like it's running off the painting. It's the oddest effect, but of course, using liquid white to do that, you don't want to put a whole lot on there because it goes a long way. All right. I'm going to put some more landscape in here, so we're just going to let that go for the moment, I think. Let's go one a little bit farther and see what else we got. All right, let's pick up some. So I'm going to just pick up some dark color here. Start laying in some landscape here. So this is just a mountain mixture that I'm about to put on here, which is a red, is a little bit of a alizarin crimson, Van Dyke brown, and some Prussian blue. Oh, no. Now, you don't have to pat this on. You can just wipe it on there. It doesn't matter. You're going to put highlights over the top of it. Oops, I didn't put highlights on it yet. Oh, hang on a second. My bad. Hello, Arbor. Kosovo. Good to see you. Very nice to see you. All right. So let's think about this other side a little bit. Let's bring this up. Let's see what we want to put on this piece of landscape here. So let's take, let me pick up another fan brush. And let's put, I'll tell you, all right, so here, let's think about this. Let's put a big tree right here. But this tree is going to be a little closer than the piece of landscape we're working on. It's going to go right kind of right here somewhere. And I think on this other, and maybe we'll kind of, let's put a couple birch trees in here to go along with some of this stuff though. So let's just kind of, let's quickly lay this in here with a knife. You can do this with a filbert brush or a fan brush or whatever suits you. Maybe. I'll tell you what, I'll just put those on though. Let's go over and let's think about this on this side though. Let's have I don't think I'll put that on with a knife. Let's put that on with since I said you could do it with a filbert, I'll show you how to do that. So let's grab one real quick. So this is a number something or other filbert. This looks like a 5 maybe. All right. So I'm gonna have one tree like right here. It'll run all the way down to right there. Let's have another tree like right here. Make it a little curved. Maybe he'll come up here a little bit farther like that. So maybe we'll put like a path in this way, out this way maybe. We'll think about that as we go. All right, let's make this guy a little bit bigger, a little fatter. Nice big tree, nice big tree. All right. Now let's put, as long as we're inking around with the filbert brush, let's just smooth this one out a little bit more. We'll put another little branch out like that. Do all that with the filbert. All right. Now we can switch over to the script liner. Well, I'll tell you what, let's just, let's use our knife. Let's put a little bit of bark on here. So we're going to mix up just, on this side, we're just going to use straight titanium white. Oh, I have too much of it on there. There we go. All right. So the light source is like right centered right there, right? So we're going to kind of, it's going to pull this, put it down and just pull it. Just lightly pulling it. Maybe a little bit on the inside right there. Maybe some over here if we want all these to be birch trees. Now, we'll mix that with a little bit of blue, just a tad bunch of blue. We'll come back on the other side and just kind of give it a little bit of a shade. A little bit of a shade back here. Some of that you want to pull to the middle, just so you don't have a straight line right up your tree of black. I'm white. I'm sorry. There you go. Oh, you know what? Let's put a little bit of highlight on this other tree over here. That smaller branches we'll come back and do with something else, with a liner brush. All right. That looks pretty good. All right, now let's use a script liner. All right, so let's just get just a tad little bit of linseed oil. Find a good spot to put that. Now you can do this in any order you want. It's your world, right? You do it however you want to do it. Don't worry too much if you don't have a steady hand when you're putting these branches on, because actually it's kind of helpful not to have a little bit of a jiggle in your hand. Oh, well, thank you, Arbor. I'm really glad to share it. I've only been painting a couple of years, and I really like to, I get a lot from watching other people paint, and so I just try to share it when I can. All right, so we'll make this try over here. We'll do something different with that tree. Just put some different trees. All right, I'm trying not to get my hand in the way because I'm wrong-handed, but I'm left-handed. Sometimes my hand gets in the way. I'm sorry for when it does. I can actually paint with both hands, but normally I'm just left-handed. You can put as many of these little sticks and things on here as you want. What we're going to do here, I think what we'll do, since we got the snow out here, I think we'll put like just a hint of leaves left on these trees, birch trees. I was actually out in the forest yesterday with my family taking pictures of us, and I noticed, it's still autumn here, and they still got just a hint of leaves on them. So I'm just taking this brush and lightly dipping it in some linseed oil, just to kind of help it flow just a little bit. And then I'm kind of turning the brush as I'm pulling it. I'm kind of turning it, which will make it kind of thin out as you go. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, let me know. Maybe we'll put another tree right here, just for the heck of it. This will be just a little, maybe some little dead tree. Some little dead tree. Or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just sleeping. He's already ready for wintertime. He had a tough summer. Alright. Let's kind of make it branch. Like that. Yeah, it works. Alright. Okay. Let's take a look at that for a second. Alright, let's lay a little bit of highlight on there. If I'm not highlighting much. So I'm just using, actually I'm using an oval brush this time. I picked it up by accident, but it'll certainly work. We're not trying to like show a tremendous amount of snow. Just a light frosting kind of snow. Maybe we'll show some bushes like that. All right, let's clean that up a little bit. And just to make this a little more interesting, you can actually take your fan brush. Let me grab one here real quick. And just kind of pull it up lightly and make all these little doers here, little weeds and stuff on the edges of your landscape like that. See, just whoop, really simple to do. All right. Okay. All right, so we're gonna cut this tree off like, hang on a second, I'll show you. We're gonna cut this tree off about right here. So we'll make all of this dark. And maybe we'll have like a peninsula right here a little bit. I'll just pull this down. I think I'll do that a little darker than that. Tell you what, before we do that, we got the light shining this way. So let's take right along here, just let's put that reflection up there a little bit. Hey Andy, how are you today? I hope everybody's doing great. Ask everybody how they're doing, but I'm hoping everybody's doing really great. All right. So just kind of defining the shoreline here for this. Now we're going to put some more landscape in here. So a while ago I was like tapping, and then I told you could just brush it on like this. So now I'm just showing you how to do that technique. You just don't fret over it too much. You can composing as you go. You can just kind of figure it out as you go. All right, so we want to come back here and fix this reflection. Let's do that real quick. So we're just going to pull this in when we start putting the highlights in. All right, so the way this has kind of come out, excuse me, the way this has kind of come out, you can see that that tree we just put in there sits over the rise. And so we'll just take some of this and pull it up. When we get up here, we'll actually make some bushes on here and just kind of. All right, let's put some dark color. All right, so we want this tree to come in on this cove, so let's just kind of we can probably just darken up this part right here. Let's just do that. Let's pull this out. Maybe even making room for another tree here. Who knows? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Now, we got the reflection of this tree we put out here earlier. I'm going to take that. We just want to kind of lightly brush it. Just blur it out just a little bit. Soften it, soften it. All right. All right. So now I'm just highlighting those weeds I pulled up there with a little bit of liquid white. I'm kind of waiting for the monitor to catch up. All right, so I'll turn my brush here so you guys can see it a little better. Now, the more you tap this in, the softer it's going to get. We're just really trying to show, you know, a little highlight of snow. Not even really snow, more like frost than anything. Let me turn this a little bit so you can see better, maybe. We're just using the edge of the brush. So I'm putting it into the paint and just pushing it down, pushing it forward. So that we're picking up paint on the edge of the brush like this. Can you see it right there on the ridge? Right? So that's just what we want to paint with that ridge. I'm going to break that line up just a little bit like that. All right, so we talked about this tree over here on the other side, but we want to put some water lines in there first, so we'll just do that real quick. Drop in these water lines. We're going to come out a little bit past this peninsula, and then just kind of bring it, pull it back. Didn't quite have enough paint. Can't paint without paint. All right, let's just kind of pull it back in here like that. There we go. We'll put another line right here across this reflection. There we go. Excuse me. We're going to do a little bit more highlighting on this side over here in a minute, but I'm going to pull this over so you can see it. I'm just going to kind of apply some of this highlight. Now, I'm just going to take and make a little bit of a dog tail here, push up some bushes in this side. This is a little bit of different technique than we use on the other side. See, it gives you more of a bushy. It's more of a grassland type, right? And this is more like a bushes area. Now, if you wanted to put more bushes up on the edge, well, I said you can change things. So if you want to put more bushes up on the edge, let me show you. We'll just change it real quick. So let me scoop up some dark color here. Let's see, what have I got? Oh, you know what? Still got dark color on my fan brush. Hang on a second. So I'm just going to take my fan brush. It's got this dark Payne's Gray on it. We'll just push up some weeds. You can push them up that way, or you can turn them on the side. You can tap them in this way, using the edge of the brush, like that. Like that. Clean that brush real quick. Pick up a little bit of liquid white to highlight with. You can just kind of looks like that. So don't be afraid to change stuff. All right, let me change paper towels. All right, I need a little bit more dark color to put this tree in, so let me mix some up real quick. So I'll tell you what, I've got some paint already down here, so let me find, I've already got some Prussian blue down here, so I'm just going to lay some sap green down on top of that. And I'll just mix these two together. Let me mix them up real quick. So I'm just mixing Prussian blue, pure sap green. Could throw a little brown in there if I wanted to, but don't really need it, I don't think. We'll find out in a second. I don't think so. I think we're good. All right, got this brush full of paint. Let me show you here in a second. So you can see it's number 6. It's full of paint. Let me turn this so you can. All right, so we're gonna put this tree in right here. So I'm gonna tilt my brush. Maybe you'll be able to see it better. So it's tap, 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 tap. I'm gonna start bringing this tree down. Start to run out of paint, just flip the brush over. Bum, 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 bum. Now, there's 2 types of trees, these evergreens that you can do. I'm gonna stick another one. I'll stick another one. I'll stick another one over on that hill there. I'll show you a little different technique. Now where am I gonna land it though? Let's see. Let's figure this out before I do it. All right, we're gonna put it right here, but we're gonna land it on that. I don't know where I want to put it. All right, let's just put it right here. We'll put it right here in the middle of the picture. So I'm just laying out the trunk there. Now, the first time when I was tapping, I was bringing the brush in. Let me pull this up, show it to you. I'm trying to show this to you. And this it's a piece of plexiglass. Just taking it, we're just tapping and pushing the corner down like that. Tap, tap, tap. Moving back to the center each time. This time we're going to push up this way, the other way. It'll give us an evergreen, but it's going to be a different kind of evergreen. And you see both. In the same forest. Usually pretty darn near each other. So let's do that. We're just going to lightly tap first, a couple little taps in there, just to kind of make the top of the tree. And then we're just going to kind of push up. Come back to the center, continue to push up. So you see how the branches they go up instead of down like you usually see. Thank you, Pat. I'm gonna paint something else today. Maybe, I don't know. Be a little later in the day if I do. If I do, I'll record. I'll video that too. All right, let me look at that tree. That's a nice, tall, slender tree. So let's make him a little bit fatter. Let's make him a little bit chubbier than that. Here we go. We're gonna leave some open spaces for this guy a little bit. So we had a place for the birds to fly, the birds to land. All right, clean that. Then let's get the highlighting a few things. And then we want to finish this up on this side over here. So let's highlight a few things as long as I got the brush out. So let's just start off. So we're using liquid white straight out of the can. With the lights coming like this, as you can see from that tree. So It's just kind of lightly. You shouldn't even really have to tap this. You should just barely have to touch it onto the tree. On this side, we're going to do it on the other side. So we'll just kind of. I don't know which way, up or down, how you like your trees. It doesn't really matter. Do them however you want to. Now I'm going to mix this with a little bit of blue and that liquid white. I'm going to come back and put a little bit more highlight on these trees. A little more blue than that, I think. Maybe a little bit more blue. A little blue. Pick up a little bit darker color. I just want some reverse highlight kind of on here. It's a little bit darker. There we go. Yeah. All right. So that gives us 3 tones on each tree. All right. So let's kind of figure this last part out. Should be fairly straightforward. Should be. All right. Let's get. We get a 1-inch brush and some of this dark color. I just use the same color I use on the trees, I guess. Let's bring this over. We kind of want to reflect this tree. So guess what? I'm gonna need my fan brush back. Where'd it go? I guess give me a little one, that'll work. All right, so I just want to kind of put this reflection down in the water a little bit. So it kind of. There we go. If you wonder why I clean my brushes so much, I have ADD, so it does me better to keep my brushes fairly clean so I don't forget to clean up. All right, let's pull that color down, clean that brush, and then we'll take a dry brush, spread all this out. Now, I thought of something else we could do. Maybe. Let's finish this up first, though. All right. So we want to take some of this darker color, bring it in around these trees, bring it around this tree, around this tree. Then we'll come back and highlight that some more. So adding another color in here, just another color to add to the landscape. We can do the same thing over here if we wanted to, although you don't really need to. But all right, so pull that down, and then is that brush dry enough? I can do that. Yeah. Just pull this reflection out. Pull this reflection out. You can kind of pull it one way, then pull it the other way. You know, to kind of make it more reflection-y like that. All right. I'm going to smooth that out a little bit. Then we'll finish up some highlighting. Another dry brush. So I'm going to use a dry brush here. Just pull this color flat. Just going to soften it, soften it, soften it, soften it, soften it. All right. Then we're going to put some highlights on this. Highlights on this waterline, highlights on this landscape. Let's do that real quick. So you can see I'm just barely touching this, just barely touching this. Let's see. Let's put the water line on this side. Knife. All right, so just picking up a little row of this liquid white. And we're going to create a curve, a little bit of a curve here. So we're going to like keep this straight, pull on the water line, pull on the water line, pull on the water line, pulling it down. kind of gonna do it. Oh, you know what? Let's do something with this tree right here. I want to put something in front of that tree, just to push it back into the landscape a little bit. Let's do that. Oh, let's take this little brush right here. Pick up some of that green we used earlier, that green and blue. Maybe we'll just even rough up this landscape a little bit. Let's do that. That'll make that a little less even looking back like that. We'll just pick up some white with it. Didn't bother to clean the brush, so we'll see. Yeah, that works pretty good. All right. So like I say, you can take the script liner and you can spend, you know, half the day drawing these little branches if you want. If you have trouble drawing those, you might find it's easier if you turn the painting upside down. I'll do a couple like that to show you. Oh, not my microphone. Sorry. Hope they didn't make a big rumble sound. Hang on. So if you want, you can just like let me get some color on this brush. So you turn it upside down, and you can just kind of, I rest my arm on the easel like that, and you can just kind of put all these little squiggles in here. You know, create however many you want. It works a little easier that way if you got something to rest your, at least it does for me, if you got something to rest your arm on. But, you know, just, if you watch Marion Dutton, Marion has a thing that goes across her easel that works pretty spiffy like that. For her to paint upright. As you can see, you can just kind of, you can really spend a lot of time just plinking around, put a few branches here and there. This also works pretty good if you wanted to add like, let's do that. Let me show you. Let's say that on top of the branches, you wanted to add just a little bit of snow. So, like right here on top of the branch. Just come in here, just lightly. Put a layer of snow right there on the top, right there on the ridge. Yeah, like that. So you can do that, you know, as much as you feel like. Anyway, there's that. Let me put a few on the other side just to make it balanced. And then we'll call this one done. Let me slap a couple little more branches on here. All right, guys. All right, so it's Monday. Got a long way to go in the week, but I do it's time. Hey, Kathy. I'll give you a lot of time to think about what you want to paint this weekend. If you don't paint during the week. All right, so we'll be back to paint maybe as early as this afternoon sometime. I'll look through some of my reference photos and see what else I may have to do. I still got garden stuff I have to do to pull things in for the wintertime, but some of that can wait. It's going to rain like crazy here on Wednesday, they say, so it'll be a good painting day for sure. All right, don't forget, baby wipes work really good to get all the oil paint off your hands. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one.